So our innovation started a number of years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, with just a handful of teachers. And what those teachers did was they looked at a different way of tackling the instruction that they had become familiar with. So for one thing, it was teacher-led, but administration supported. So what that meant was the grassroots energy came from a group of teachers who were interested in re-examining their instructional practice.
There was a small group of teachers in the district, middle school and high school, who were looking at the recognition that there were a number of students that their needs weren't being met in the school system. We had students who were at risk and definitely perhaps weren't going to continue forward, they were going to fail. But we also had very academic students who we felt weren't engaged and weren't finding their education meaningful. So I think that initial group of teachers started exploring different ways to try different activities in the classroom, and the results of that small group were very positive.
Immediately, there were kids at risk that were no longer at risk of not completing school. There were kids who for the first time were passing tests, and it changed their view of school. They started to attend. The very first year, every student who was a case study student, each teacher had one student they watched, every student passed the course that the teacher was teaching.
Being able to see the student interviews and the reflections from kids as they talk about how teachers change in teaching practice has impacted them and made them feel better about themselves and helped them to build confidence, not only in their experience at school, but in themselves in the world, is incredibly moving to see.
I know I speak for everybody in School District 67 who is involved in the Through a Different Lens project when I say it was an honor to be nominated for the Cmolik Prize. It acts, if you will, as a way to legitimize, to motivate, to empower the people who are involved in a project like this, who see the good work on a day-to-day basis, but in a culminating way. Something like the Cmolik Prize certainly makes people feel like the work is recognized and important.